Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another Simply Colorful Fibercast. Today's date is November 13th, 2020. My name is Lynn Marquidant. That's Buster, and we are glad you could join us. It is a rainy, dark day here in New England, so this is going to be a hodgepodge of a show, and really what I just wanted to show you was how we are making directional pillowcases. Buster! No barking. He hasn't barked all day. Isn't that funny? Anyway, I hope you're well. Happy Friday. See how this is directional? You can lay the pillow down and the buildings are going upright. And the way I did that is quite simple. I'm also finishing up my Dear Jane, so I'm unpacking that basket. I've got a lot going on. I'm doing a custom quilt, and I hope you all are similarly feeling like you're getting things done. I feel like I'm getting things done, but there's a lot. Everything is discombobulated, you know, when you've got so many projects going. Okay. So, directional pillowcase. I'm making quite a few, and I've got several cut out here. But basically, first you take 3/4 of a yard. No, 2/3 of a yard. So 24 inches of your main fabric that's directional. And you know how usually you make it going this way, but then if you lay it on the bed, it would be sideways. And I didn't want that. I wanted it to lay on the bed and you should be able to see the buildings. So we want it to go this way. So what we end up doing is we sew up one side. I'm going to sew up the top, and then we make a burrito with this part. So it's not a flat burrito. It's already sort of created. I'll show you. And what I'm going to do is after I sew the side, when I create the burrito, I'm going to create it using, this will be the cuff, one of those, and then one of these is a little accent piece. So we'll put everything else away. And I did just want to do this. I hope you're all enjoying yourselves. I am busy, Maggie. I am. It's the Christmas season for sure. Yep, but it's all good. Okay, so first I'm going to make, what are they called? French seams. So I've got the wrong sides together, and I'm going to sew myself a scant 1/4 of an inch on the top of one side. Doesn't matter which side. You know, my Bernina gave me instructions saying it had to be serviced. This one did. So now I really do have to get it serviced. Okay, so that's a scant 1/4 of an inch. And I'm going to turn it right sides together and catch that scant 1/4 of an inch in a 1/2 inch seam so that it can be washed and washed and there won't be any excess fabric to fray. Hi, Diane Wilson. We are doing well. I hope you're doing well. And Pat, hello, and Linda. And Buster Boo. Hi, Buster. Okay, so I've just ironed that, and now I'm going to do a 1/2 to 5/8. Okay. There we go. And I should have said, so this is I should have said the measurements so that you can do this. So this is 24 inches, my directional fabric. This was 2.5 inches folded in half and ironed. And this was 12 inches folded in half and ironed. And that's enough to make your pillowcase. Okay, so now we just sewn up one side of the pillowcase. Okay, so there we go. So now what we want to do is we want to sort of baste this on. And this may be a little, I need to measure it, make sure it may be a little short. Yep. So I'm going to start about 1/2 inch in. And again, I'm going to do a scant 1/4 inch. This is just to baste it in place for when I do my burrito. Yeah. So my machine sounds a little tinny. Hi, Carol. Happy birthday. So I'm just doing this a scant 1/4 inch. Okay. So now we have this shape. Now we're going to make our burrito. We're going to take, and the reason you do this burrito is at the end of this, you will have no open raw seams. So we're going to undo our 12-inch piece, our cuff, and we're going to pin it on one side. And then we're going to roll the rest of this material inside and pin the other side. And I'll show you what I mean. This is a good Christmas gift. And I know I've made this before on Fibercast. I just had this fabric that was directional, and I've been meaning to do this for a long time. See, now I goofed. That's not long enough, or it's okay. So I have to start over and keep some slack on both sides. Okay. So I mark my middle there. And then I'm going to mark my middle here. Get right sides together. Okay. There we go. The band is playing downstairs. I think that's what Buster heard. One of them going outside. Okay, that's better. We have about 1/2 inch on either side. Hi, Marcella in Little Rock. Nice to see you out there. Okay. So here we go. Now I'm also going to do a scant 1/4 inch on this one too. This is just to baste it too. Oh, I just hit the cutter. Didn't want to do that. You really don't have to do this basting step. I could have just made my burrito and just sewn one, but this just ensures it's straighter. Here we go. Okay, now we're going to make a burrito. Hi, Joanne. Vermont, yay, Vermont. Vermont is in the house. Okay, now we have our cuff. And we've sewn in our little strip there. Now we're going to make a burrito with the whole pillowcase inside the cuff. So you roll it up like this. And then you bring the other side of this cuff and you pin it to make your burrito. And then once we're going to sew a good 1/2 inch seam, and then we're going to turn it inside out. And that will give you a nice, clean cuff with no open seams. There are many YouTube tutorials on how to make a burrito pillowcase. This one's a little different because we have directional fabric. And with any luck, we've done it right so that the fabric will go the right direction. It's probably a 50-50 shot. I didn't double check it. Did anyone else double check it? I think we're going to be okay. Earlier today, when I made one of these, I sewed it the wrong way. Okay. It's a little off, but that's okay. Okay, so here we have our burrito. And this I'm sewing a good 1/2 inch. So I make sure to catch all of those seams, the basting seams. I didn't catch anything in that. So with fabric and some straight seams, you can make a whole Christmas gift in not very long. Now, if I were really being fancy, you could embroider. So if Carol Lewin, if you're watching over in the UK with your new embroidery machine, you could do some beautiful custom embroidery on the cuff. Okay, so our burrito has been created. Oh, Dean, hi, Dean. I see Carol is asking if the band is playing live. Yes, they are. Yep, there are 4 of them down there. No one comes to see them, of course, but yep, they are in a pod. Okay, so there is what we are, that's what it looks like now. Now all we need to do is iron it and then fold it and create another French seam on the other side. And then we'll have our directional pillowcase. See how it's a little bit fat, but that's okay because I'm gonna have to cut off about 1 inch here. So you could, instead of 24 inches, you could use 23 inches. I'm pinning it together. Not quite sure. It's a little off, but that's okay. Okay. Here's this. So, aside from this, the other things that I wanted to show you were my Dear Jane. I have put some sleeves, not sleeves, I've sewn an edge onto it so that I can make the scallop. But, and I forget who told me, but I'm going to quilt it all first before I cut the scallop. And I'm even thinking of doing my Dear Jane with a teeny tiny stipple all over. I don't know if I'll regret that, but I don't do a good custom quilting job. Okay, so that's our first 1/4 of an inch. Let's make sure I caught everything on both sides. Yeah, that is not straight. There we go. For some reason, I've been using a evaluation copy of WinZip, and in my PC that I'm looking at right now, I can't get a window to go away. It says activate now, and I don't want to activate it. So if I'm missing what you're saying, I'm sorry. So Carol says, hello, hello. So nice to see you. You too. Hope you're taking some time for yourself before you get into the sewing frenzy of the holiday season. Happy sewing. I know. Well, I do. Don't worry about me. I take lots of rests for sure. And the holiday frenzy has begun. So it's all good. Okay. So we have 1 more seam. Now we turn this inside out, and I was using this as a good little ruler for keeping it square at the end. Okay, and I'm going to iron it. Can you see my quilt behind? This is one of the t-shirt quilts we're making. It's for one of two brothers, a junior and senior. And it was really fun. It was a challenge to make. We didn't use any extra fabric. We just used, for sashing, we just used pieces of the t-shirt. So I kind of liked how the yellow t-shirt there, how I put little stripes of it, if I do say so myself, because I think it really made it more interesting. So that was kind of fun. Hi, Dawn Stewart. You know, before I get too far up, I do have to trim the seam. Okay. And there we go. So no open raw edges. And with luck, it should fit a standard size pillow. Not a king size, but a standard. It'll fit just fine. And it'll be directional when it's on the bed. And I want to thank Chris Myers for this fabric. And we have direction. So that's a Christmas gift idea. Maybe we'll do more of those between now and Christmas. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Aw. I sent a picture of Buster out. So here, remember my dear Jane? I have about a month and a half to finish my goal. If Sue Norton is out there, I don't think she is. We haven't seen Sue lately. She's been into drawing and other art, her gardening. But if she is out there, Sue and I had a competition to see who would do our Dear Jane first. She started way after me and she completed way before me. So she's the clear winner. But I wanted you to know that I have put on all of these sides. So let's make sure that I did do all of them. Yep, I did. Okay. I thought maybe I had. Yep, no, they're all done. So now I will put it all on the machine and I'll quilt it. And then I'll come back and do the scallops and then bind it in a blue. So that's that. I also, this is fun, and I must admit I don't do this very often as I would like, is I had a tub of my Dear Jane things, and I was able to clean it out and repurpose the tub for another project. I do not do that very often. So here I found some of the white that I've been using. This I'm going to file away with my whites. This I'm going to cut up into squares. Then I have some of these leftover white squares that I thought I would also cut up for my scraps. You can see here, I'm still making my piles of my different scraps. I'm going to be making a mystery, and I don't know what size scraps I need, but I'm making a variety for now. And then once I know the sizes, it'll be even easier. So there we go. There is a tin ready to repurpose for another project. Oh, so, oh, and then I have this bag, which Deb gave me. I love this bag. I'm going to make another one of these. For anyone out there who might, and this has a nice closure. So Leah, I think you would like it. It's all finished off very nicely. Anyway, I'm going to keep my Dear Jane materials in here, just in case, I don't know, something strikes me and I decide to make another one, though I doubt I ever will. But I have my Dear Jane templates and my little rotary cutter, and then I have my book that I've written in all these years. All these years. Aunt Exie's Flocks. Started in the summer of 2014, and I worked on it on Halloween night in 2014. I was dressed up as Jane Stickle for Halloween and did it on Fibercast along with the M5 block, Maria's Majesty. Anyway, so I have this all together. My colored in cheat sheet. Showing them all done, so that was fun. Oh, and then I had another sheet that I remembered. We took inventory when I was at my mother's in 2014. So I'm going to keep that. We still had all four corners to do. We had 46 triangles and 120 squares to do. Okay, so anyway, I'll keep that like that. Who knows? Maybe Alexa will want to make a Dear Jane, and I'll send this all to her, just what she needs. Okay, so those are that I'll cut up into scraps. I had a couple of other projects that are halfway done that I also wanted to share, and then I think we're going to wrap. We're going to go down memory lane here. Do you remember this one? We made it, I want to say around Valentine's Day. I was out in Santa Clara, and I went to the Michaels. I didn't have a project to do. And I went to Michael's and I bought this very bright fabric. I tried to sell this whole thing at the, this is kind of funny, at the yard sale up at the church 2 weekends ago. And instead I came home with the dog and I came home with this. No one wanted this. I was even giving them the hook. But you know what? If I can just finish it up. 1, 2, let's see if I can remember how to do this. It's just one big granny square. And one in between. Yeah, I can remember. So, speaking of crochet, so this one, it's not very big, see? But I figure I'll just finish it up using these, and then it will be done. So that's one that's in process. And if any of you happen to get this for Christmas, pretend you didn't see it here. Okay. Oh, here's another little project. Did we ever work on this together? Uh-oh. This is pretty yarn. Lamb's Pride Superwash. I'm pretty sure I got this up at Henniker during one of our quilt retreats. And I'm doing the seed stitch, which is knit 2, purl 2. So this one, ooh, that's going to be pretty. Look at that. So knit one. It's always tricky when it falls off. Hang on. Okay, and now we're just going to finish knitting it. Who knits the continental way? It's such a good, fast way to do it. But it looks slightly different, so you can't sort of switch, but I can't switch back and forth. Okay, so this is the seed stitch, and it, or is it called basket weave? Because it's 2 and 2 and 2. So it's 2 knit, 2 purl all the way across. Then you go back, 2 purl, 2 knit. Anyway, there's another project that should be doable because I only have this much yarn. Oh, remember this yarn? Oh, and another set of scissors. This is linen. Remember that? Produced in Sweden. Kalinka. Okay, so this is going to be a bigger lift for me to restart this. But I will. I've done it before. I'm making a shawl. Oh, and it looks like I'm doing it this way. Whew, boy. It's a complicated pattern. It's called the Red Velvet Rose Wrap. And we've made these. We've made these before. We can do it again. But I'll have to figure out what row I'm on and all that. And I wonder if I have a needle anywhere. So that's the linen. That one will not get done for Christmas, but it's a pretty color, isn't it? That would look really pretty with a white shirt and jeans and some Keds shoes or something. Okay. So there's that. I think that's it. Did I get everyone's comments? Oh, Buster, how is Buster adjusting? Buster is adjusting great. He is a love. The barking you heard him doing was the most barking he's done all day. He's been out walking. We took 2 long walks today. The poor thing gets so wet. He's getting a haircut next Friday night. So next Friday, you will see him in all his glory. I should show him to you now. He's sleeping right behind me. Because he's a rag doll, even though I've been brushing him every night. But he needs a good haircut and a good wash. And he's a love. He's a good dog. Thanks for asking. Okay. I like where the Dear Jane quilt is. How do I get rid of this wind zip? Thank you, Joanne. I think I've said hi to everyone. Oh. Let's see. I really don't have much to say. Maybe start shopping. Start your Christmas shopping. Start your gift making. KB. Hi. TGIF. So glad you're there. Time is flying. Okay, well, for Patreon subscribers, I will see you tomorrow on Open Sew at 11. I'll look forward to that. I hope you will too. I know Sue will not be there. She is at a funeral, unfortunately, but she said to say hi, and she'll be there next Wednesday. Thank you all for joining Fibercast. Be creative. Do something that you like to do. Do something for someone else. It'll make you feel really good, and of course, it'll make them feel good. Be safe. Be safe. We're getting through this, and maybe someday we'll be able to get haircuts again. Bye, everyone. Thanks for joining.